Hey YouTubers, and welcome to Bevins Bricks, and if you're a Lego fanatic like me, you have come to the right place. Hello everyone and welcome to Bevins Bricks. Hope you all are having a great weekend. I know today was the Remembrance Day because this is the 20th anniversary for 9/11. So of course I know it was a bad day for some people and a day of remembering for a lot. So either way, I hope everybody was able to enjoy the day. But anyway, hello to everyone in the chat. I want to say hello to Brick Sargent, Rolando Perla, Kip Hoffman, Greg Bissett, Aussie Adams Bricks, Kyle Dunbar, Anthony Perot, Kenneth Swan. Hello again. Glad to see you all were able to join in. And Brick Sargent, I got you down for 2 more entries. I got my paper right in front of me now, so it makes it a little easier. But again, hoping everybody's having a great day. I was planning on doing a stream earlier today. I actually wanted to do a long stream tonight, but I kind of got sidetracked in a lot of different projects. I always have too much going on, it seems, here lately. One of the things I did do today, though, for anybody that's interested, if you go and check out my... Anthony Perot says, "Hi, Greg." If you go and check out my webpage, which is www.bevinsbricks.com, you'll see that I got a bunch of different stuff listed there. The thing I am going to tell people, don't buy anything yet. Here's the reason I say that. I have 25 items that I currently listed today, and it took me a while. I'm still learning how to do all this stuff. I can say this. The first 2 to 3 hours was me learning how to do it. And then the last few hours, I was actually slowly speeding up with getting stuff posted onto my page. But if you go and check out that site, you will see that there's a lot of different things there. And what I mean by that is I think it was 25 different weapons that I listed. I'm also going to be doing weapons packs. I'm also going to be doing Lego sets. When I say Lego sets, I am talking about a complete Lego set, complete with official Lego pieces. Now, the sets are all going to be small. It's going to be things like bus stops, phone booths, telephone poles, and things like that. Small sets, easy things to build and purchase. But obviously, it's going to be offered directly through me, so it's going to be a little bit of a markup because it's stuff that I've personally designed, and that will come with instructions and the parts. So I just want to point out I am doing a lot of different things. I am doing a lot of different work, and that's one of the things I'm working on. And I hope that's something that a lot of people are wanting to see because I've had a lot of questions about that in the past. And I'm finally taking the initiative and forcing myself to do some of that. So I hope this is going to be another step in the right direction for my channel and for other things. You're totally fine, Anthony. No worries at all. Anyway, though, let's try and get back to building because I need to get this thing done so I can get it off my desk. And I was on step, if I remember correctly last night, it was step number 428. I was working on the train image on the inside of the wall here. And I actually wasn't thinking when I readjusted my camera. I was trying to give you guys a better view of the facade of the building because that's where a lot of the work's going. I may end up changing the camera here in just a second. I got to get back to the steps for building what I was doing last night. And I am almost there. And there we are. Let me adjust the camera just a little bit better because I was trying to look at that also, and you're not going to really be able to see what I got going over here. Let me move this pad of paper and some of my other garbage. Kyle Dunbar, how you doing, my friend? And thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. Like I said, there's still a ton to add, but I am trying to be as persistent as possible to get that thing done. I hope that's a little bit better of an angle anyway. Let's see if we can drop it down just a little bit. Oh, Aussie Adams, thank you so much. I want to write that down in a second. Hope that's a little better. Again, Aussie Adams, thank you so much. Where did I put my pad? That. Trying to catch up on a few more comments, then I'm going to go to building. It says, Aaron says this is going to be a good stream, and thank you, Aaron. Macro Bricks, how the heck are you, buddy? Saturday is doing good. And you do have a really nice, you're absolutely correct, Brick Sergeant. Your train would look great inside of this. Okay, now I need to get reassociated with my parts. Here we go. As far as the train relief, if you will, I actually, believe it or not, and you're going to see exactly how I put it, I left the inside of it hollow. And part of the reason I did that is you never can see it anyway, and once it's set in the walls, I mean, it's kind of like nobody's ever going to notice. So that's why I built it the way that I had built it. And I need a couple plates. You'll see what I'm referring to here in just a moment. Kyle, thank you so much. He says, question is, will I drop another nuke tonight? If it don't get you in trouble, go for it, my man. And thank you again so much for that donation. Got you down for 2 more. We were all afraid you were going to get in trouble with the misses after pulling that one. Probably should have kept the camera behind me is what I'm thinking now, but I don't want to try and reorganize everything now. Let's finish getting what we can. Hey, the luckiest loser. We got the start of our train engine. I'm actually shocked Paul ain't here yelling at me to build faster. Oh, well, that's a surefire way to get in trouble, too. Just saying, Kyle. It's probably a good thing she don't know, though. Ned B, how you doing? Get in there. We go. Now you can. I hope you can kind of see the train taking shape. And the reason for the snot bricks that you see that are pointed on it in various locations. Thank you, Greg. He says, I'm moving on it at a good clip. But the reason that I did that is because I wanted there to be a border around that to look kind of like a framed picture. So that's why you will notice that. I need a 2x6. By 2. That was something else I got today because I was telling you guys how I was wanting to improve my sound. My microphones did arrive today. I just haven't had a chance to play with them. And I didn't even make a video today, so what I'm hoping is that the video that I actually make tomorrow will give me my opportunity to finally work on those. Rebuilding this, it's funny because some of the new parts they make now, there's a lot of things I honestly feel that I would change because they didn't have the parts that they have now compared to when I built this. And thank you so much, Ned B. Says doing well, just keep building. And again, thank you so much, Ned. Got you down for 2. Hello, Let's Brick. How you doing? And by the way, thank you for that email that I caught from you. But what I was going to say is there's a lot of things that I would actually like to change on this because the parts, like this border, I would have changed it to they have the 1x2 brick now where you can actually have the piece standing up. And I would have used that on the edges of this as opposed to the way that I did it. But at that point in time when I built this, they didn't have that particular piece. But it is what it is, and we will move along. I need cheese wedge. Hope you're having a great day, Let's Brick. And now I got to start doing the engine part, and that's where I need all the headlight bricks. And say hello to my little friend because he's kicking on right now. And while I'm building this, I just want to point something out that a lot of people I don't think know. If you look at this part right here, the way that I'm putting it, this is a bunch of headlight bricks that I just put together. And I'm hoping you can see the manner and fashion they're together. When you put them together that way, it makes a perfect alignment to go into a brick. And that is why those are assembled that way. Kyle Dunbar, thank you so much. I don't blame you either, Kyle. I don't think I would tell either if you were going to get in trouble. And thank you so much for putting you down for 2 more. But the reason that I just got a gnat. The reason I did that is because a lot of what I did when I was doing this was kind of an afterthought. But the other thing was, and I'm looking for the piece, here it is, I needed that piece in there, and keep in mind, I know there's a much easier way to do what I did, but like I said, it was kind of an afterthought on the build, so I just made it work the way that I could. And I need, I had it yesterday, there it is, this bar piece. Absolutely, Ned. Happy wife, happy life. I think I'm going to have to pull that back off. I don't remember. Trying to get the spacing down. Here, I think we got it. So now you can see we got some of the detail of the train back in there. And now we want this front piece to kind of slope down. Which is where these come in. And now we just got to get the front part of the train in there. That is Oh, hey, Paul Bot, how are you, my friend? And thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Paul just donated $9.11. That's a very fitting amount for the day. Grumpy J, how you doing? Never late. You always arrive precisely when you need to. No, I'm just waiting for Paul to start heckling. 1x2 brick. One more, a fluted piece. There it is. So now we're starting to get our shape. Now we got to do the nose. I'll come back to the comments momentarily. I hate it when you gotta look for little tiny pieces. 2. I appreciate that, Paul. Thank you. Thank you, T-Bone98. How are you? That is awesome, Grumpy J. It's always nice when you get an order in. Now one more. It's a little tiny, you know what? Because I only have like 2,000 of them, I'm just going to steal it out of mine and I'll replace it later when I find it. There we go. Now we got the nose on. Now we can put it in. Actually though, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to wait and put the border around it first. So let's do that first. I think we all build that way. Russell, Russell, Russell. It's kind of the nature of the beast. I'm actually looking at this, and I can't change it because it's a set and it's built the way it is, but I'm looking at it and thinking I wouldn't mind changing a few things on it, but we are going to build it the way the instructions state. The rustling sound, absolutely, it's always a good sound. And why? Am I looking at that wrong? 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Something doesn't add up the way that it should. Well, maybe that is right. It doesn't feel like it's lining up correctly though. That's why I'm wondering, did I put the Nope, that's right. T-Bone 98, thank you so much. I got you down for a donation. And 5 entries. I'm about to go check my train station because the way these instructions are going, like I said, the part don't line up. And if I remember correctly, that's supposed to have a 2-plate gap. Let me find. Yes, everything is off. That is not a good thing. It's not a good thing because if the instructions don't work the way that they're showing, I'm trying to figure out how the build actually went together. Okay, that makes sense now. It's backwards. So if you get this, it's backwards. So you're going to have to put the top on the bottom and the bottom on the top. So I apologize for anybody, because the way the instructions show it, it's directly the opposite, and they will not go on that way. Actually, I'm finding a couple mistakes in this part. Sadly. Bear with me, guys, while I'm trying to finagle this. And Greg Bissett, I'm sorry, I just noticed that. Happy birthday, buddy. Happy birthday. I know it's from the conversation I see over here. I get it, but it's still your birthday. And happy birthday to you, my friend. And hey, Bricklock, Illinois, how you doing? Okay, just curious. Hello, hello. Now that I think I've got the mistake corrected anyway. I've got to find a bunch of cheese wedge pieces. And start putting these guys on. Food fight! 2, 3, 4. Like I said, if I had to build this thing over again, 2, 3, 4. I see a lot of things that I would actually change right here. With some of the parts that are available now, because it would actually have a much better finished look if I changed them out. 2. But it is where it is. We got to do what the instructions say. Can't turn back now. Greetings to Germany. Kexi travels the world. Welcome to the stream. I haven't mentioned it yet tonight, so I think I should probably throw it out there here real quick. for those of you that are new to my channel and new to my streams, after I'm finished with this, I am going to be raffling it off. How I'm raffling it off is everybody that donated during these streams, every dollar they donate counts as a raffle. So if you do a $20 donation, you get 20 raffle tickets. If you do a $5 donation, you get 5 raffle tickets. Just putting that out there for anybody that's not aware of that. And there we go. Get in the wall. And where did I put my hammer? I guess we will just hope that's in there good enough. And thank you, Greg. I appreciate that. I hope you guys can actually, let me move that up a little bit so you can see where I just put that at. And now what we're going to actually be working on is the other side. I'm looking at the instructions. A lot of what I did, and it's funny because the instructions are made the exact way that I did it, but a lot of what I did was quite frankly because the parts that I had available is all I had to use. I didn't order a bunch of stuff when I built this. So what you're about to see is something that could be made a lot simpler, but I didn't have the correct pieces at the time. And Grumpy J, thank you so much. I got you down for 2 tickets. Thank you so much for that donation. And hey Rob, how you doing? And yes, it is Greg's birthday. He was being quiet about it, but we're not letting him. 1, 2, 8. And say a birthday is a birthday. Although I have to say, I'm not too happy when my birthdays arrive anymore. Because I had somebody a long time ago tell me that if you take, and I actually have one and I should show it to you, but I'm not going to, but I don't know how many people have ever seen a wooden tape measure. It's the tape measures that you actually unfold. And the way that they showed me that they used it, it's actually a really good analogy to give you a perspective on life. You know what, being what today is, I'm going to grab mine and show it to you so you get a better idea of what I'm talking about. And of course, it's not where I left it, so I'll have to do it another time. But when you're looking at your age, think about, because the wooden tape measure, they go up to 96 inches, if I remember correctly. So if you unfold your wooden tape measure, 96 inches, which or 100 inches, excuse me. I forget what it goes to now. But either way, fold it only until you think how long you're going to live. So for example, and you could actually do this even with a tape measure now that I'm thinking about it, but I always liked it with the wooden stick. But take that and unfold it, or pull it out to the number that you have, or the number that you think you'll live to, and then go to the number that you're of your age, and then fold it away, and then that shows you how much of your life you have left, and then you can look at how much life you've already lived. It's kind of sombering and mind opening. And thank you so much, Pat O'Connor. I got you down as 5 entries. And the reason that I bring that up is, number one, we all know it's a somber day. And it is a day of mourning, even though and it's Greg's birthday. It's a great birthday. And they're great tape measures. Like I said, I still use mine as well. They're really awesome. And it actually irritates me because I don't know where it's at. Either way, I'm going to do it with a tape measure just so people get an idea. So I personally think I won't live past the age of 76. I'm just going to go to 76. So here's 76. Now, if I take my tape measure, 48 is where I'm at right now. So that is how much life I have left to live. And that long piece of tape is how much life I have lived. And that's why I was saying it's kind of a sombering, mind-opening, awakening way to look at your life. Because if you look at it that way, and you look at it in the aspect of, like for me, I know the way I look at it, my life's already half over. And it kind of makes you think, makes you appreciate things a little better is kind of the point I was going for. But yes, like I said, I'll have to do that sometime and show it on a tape. But like I said, it's a real good way to help you think a little better about things. I guess it depends on how your mind is. For some people, it might make them feel worse about things. But I'm hoping it makes people feel better about things. You still are a kid, though, Kyle. Or do you mean you put it to where you thought you'd only live till 25? To me, I figure 70, 75 is about as good as I'm going to get. And I say that because that is the average lifespan in my family, unfortunately. So I don't expect to live super long. And, it is what it is. I'm not upset about it. But that is part of the reason I try to make the best out of every day and do things like I'm doing right now that I truly enjoy. Because we all know that our time here is limited. And the quicker you can realize that and kind of help put a better perspective on your thought process, the better you will be off in the long run. I hope you're right, Brick Sergeant. And I gotta put that piece under there first. There we go. But I really hope you're right. Like I said, for me, I figure if I make it to 75, 76, I'm doing something, and every day after that will just be a blessing. And we will take it as it goes. Now what I'm working on right here, guys, this is going to be, because the caboose goes on the other side of the train station, and this is the start of the caboose. Absolutely, T-Bone 98. Couldn't agree more. Because that was another thing that I was always told and had said to me. Because here's another good analogy for thinking about life in general. Trying to find pieces and think at the same time, it's a little difficult. But I'm going to throw kind of a goofy question at you. Just something I want people to think about. Do you think $1 million is a lot of money? And I want you to sit and think about that question for a minute. Do you think $1 million is a lot of money? And now here's why I'm saying I want you to think about that. If I gave you $1 million to spend today, but today's going to be your last day on Earth, and that's the end of it, would you take that $1 million? Or would you rather live a longer life and not have that $1 million? And the thought of that particular question is supposed to give you a more valuable thought process and make you think. And here's what I mean by make you think is, obviously, at least I don't think anybody here would take $1 million if they knew that that was it and they couldn't wake up tomorrow. You would want to be able to wake up tomorrow. You would turn down that $1 million. And my point in saying that is that shows you that your life is worth more than $1 million. So macro says depends on how old I am. So my whole point in that analogy and that question, again, is just to try and get you to think about the value of $1 million and how valuable really is it, because I would like to think that everybody here, once I told you that you can only live for one day if I give you that $1 million, picks the longer life over that $1 million, proving, like Rob said, longer life, proving that living longer is worth more than the money. That's probably another good way to look at it, Kyle. That's a very selfless way to look at it, and that's a nice way to look at it. I still think your daughter would rather have you here, though, my friend. And I'm of the same state of mind you are, Brick Sergeant. I wouldn't take it. I would rather live as opposed to have the money. Because I still have a ton of things that I would love to do, see, go, whatever. And $1 million just wouldn't cover it. There they are. That's awesome, Kyle. He says his Harry Potter set will be built next week. Like I said, I'm probably making it kind of a depressing stream, making everybody think about that stuff. But like I said, it's just some food for thought, just some things to think about. I am trying to find, and it's funny because if I had known there was more than one, I would have grabbed, because the same part that I had a problem finding on the train station, I need 2 more of them now. That's plates. Okay, I need 2 of these. These go on the ends. And now I need, if I can get it on there. Absolutely, I agree. Let's brick it. That's a very good way to look at it, T-Bone. I agree with you. And now if I could just find the part I'm looking for. Which if I have to, I will just skip this step, because I know I came across it once, so I know I'll find it again. Ah, here we go. And I knew I would find that part of the train station, so let me replace, or the train. Let me replace that back with the actual piece. Just trying to keep showing you guys how it's working up. Who was it that screwed the order up, Mike? You have nothing but problems when you order from Bricklink, and I am so sorry, buddy. Thank you, Scooteria Games, and hello to the or welcome to the live stream. Kyle says that's happened to me before with Lego sets. Either I can't find the piece to the Lego set or missing some pieces to it. And I've never actually had a set where I was missing pieces. And thank you so much, Kyle Dunbar. I'm putting you down for 5 more. If you don't win this, I would be blown away, I have to say, because I still think that you've donated enough to have already bought it yourself. But again, thank you so much, Kyle. That's awesome. But yeah, Greg, Greg, I have never, ever seen somebody have such bad luck when it comes to making orders. And I don't know what to tell you. One of my some of the key things that I do as far as how I handle orders, and I don't know if this will help you or not, but I only order from people that have at least 1,000 or more feedback. I will look at the feedback, and if I see anything, when I say anything, I mean out of 1,000 people, you're generally going to have maybe 1 or 2 negative. But if you're looking at 1,000 feedbacks and they have 10 or 20, to me that's a big old red flag, and I will not purchase from that person. So that's one thing that I do. Another thing that I do is I typically only buy from people if I don't have to request a receipt. I hate that when you go to somebody's page and they make you put in your order and then you have to request a receipt to find out what you owe. So that bothers me. I prefer to only deal with people that are direct checkout. I will do the receipt portion sometimes. It just depends on if I think the parts are a really good deal or not. But like I said, that is something that I typically do try to avoid if I can. So that might be 2 things to kind of help you, because I've never, ever in my life seen somebody have as bad a luck as you do. It's really disheartening, I have to say. Because with as much as bad luck as you have with your orders, I wouldn't blame you if you never made another order again, and I would totally understand that. And thank you so much, Greg. And for anybody that's interested in joining the Funny Farm, the link to that is pinned above the stream. And I saw something else I was talking about earlier, and like I told everybody, just as a reminder for those that came in late, I did work on my website all day today. It's bevinsbricks.com. If you get a chance, check it out. But I ask, please don't buy nothing yet, because I still have a bunch more things I have to add, which I'm not sure if you can buy anything right now anyway, because I don't think I have the payment set up. But I do believe if you go on there, it will let you add stuff to your cart. Now, here is a section of the build where they screwed up, and here's what I mean by that. They didn't send me the right parts. and I'm waiting on the right parts. What they sent me was red. They're supposed to be sending me the correct color. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in, but I just want you to know that I actually used gray in mine, but that's the color they sent me, so I'm putting it together that way until I get the actual pieces. The correctly colored pieces. When you say, do I think there'll be an afterlife? Are you talking about the new... Where did I put that bin? The new Ghostbusters? Because that is supposed to be released. Ghostbusters Afterlife is supposed to be released, if I remember correctly, November 11th, I think. I thought that was the last thing I saw, was November 11th. And we'll put that there. Actually, that's kind of a cool idea, Brick Sergeant. You mean as far as sending it to me so I can send it to the winner? That's a very cool idea. The reason I say that is, keep in mind, I am not keeping this. This is going to whoever wins. This would look a lot better if these were gray. Ghostbusters is an excellent movie, and I actually have a bunch of different... For those of you, if you're... Because I'm kind of a goof, nerd, whatever you want to call it, when it comes to collecting movie memorabilia and things like that. And the Ghostbusters movie, with the Ghostbusters movie coming out, because keep in mind, it was actually delayed. It was supposed to be out a lot sooner than it was. I'm sorry, it was delayed. It wasn't supposed to be out so late. But now that it's finally coming out, they actually had toys that came out last year when it was supposed to originally come out. And I got a bunch of those toys because I was afraid that they would not be available for long. And I have to tell you, they were pretty freaking cool. But some of those was like the meter for finding the ghosts. And did I screw up? I screwed up. I gotta move it all down one. But I have that. I forgot what all it is. Oh, a trap. And it's all stuff that you could buy at Walmart, but it's they're really cool toys, to say the least. The trap actually opens and closes. It has sound effects. It has lights. The EKG meter, or whatever they call it, it's the little tool that you kind of wave around, and it beeps, and the little arms come up. Oh yeah, T-Bone 98 was saying the Titanic set has a proper set that has proper action features would be cool. I don't know that it'll actually, I mean, I have very high hopes. And hey, Steve, and hey, Nightwolf, I have very high hopes that it's going to be a very cool set. For those of you that aren't aware and know what anybody's talking about this particular minute, is Lego announced, was it yesterday or the day before, that they're coming out with a new Titanic set. And with that announcement, they announced that it's going to have 12,000 pieces. 12,000 pieces. So it's going to be the largest Lego set of all time. It's going to be a new record-sized Lego set. Now, when I think of 12,000 pieces, I think of something huge. And what I actually think it's going to be is it's still going to be big, don't get me wrong. It's probably going to be 2 to 3 feet in length. Nobody's seen pictures of it, so nobody really knows the full scale of what this thing's going to be. But with that number of pieces and the price point, because I thought the price point was rather low. If I remember correctly, it was only supposed to be $400. So at that price point, with the number of parts it's going to have, to me, that's probably going to be one of the most detailed that you've ever seen as far as builds. Because I know a lot of people are aware of, correct me if I'm wrong, Kobe makes a Titanic Lego ship, or Kobe makes a Titanic building block ship, I guess I should say. And it's actually a very nice looking set. But that's the only set that we have for comparison. Kobe's set, if I remember correctly, I want to say, and I am trying to remember, it was around 4,000 pieces or something. And that Kobe set's a pretty large set. So yes, that is a lot of pieces. 12,000 is a ton of pieces. But to me, with the, at least that was what I heard anyway. I can't, it's not official. At least I haven't seen any official announcements on anything yet. That's from the reports that I saw. It was going to be over 12,000 pieces. It was going to retail for, it's like 450 or 400, or either way, it was in the $400 range. So to me, it was rather cheap, but that tells me it's going to be a lot of very small parts, which I think is still cool. Eccentric Bricks, hey, how you doing? Thanks for signing in. Nerd Brick 101, hello, hello. Now, if it, I agree with you, Aussie Adams, because they didn't say, because now that would actually make sense that it would be mosaic. They did not say that, but if it's mosaic, it's not something I would purchase. My feelings on it, I haven't purchased any of the mosaic stuff yet. If I wanted to do that, I could just go buy a bunch of studs and do it myself. Night Wolf says they just announced they're making Gran Turismo 7 for the PS5. How exciting is that? Oh, it's 630. Okay. So it was just a real quick article that I read, and I read it last night. So thank you for that correction. But I knew it was over 12,000 pieces. For some reason, I thought it was 450, so 630. But either way, when you look at the price comparison, because think about it, and I got to put those pieces on. The Millennium Falcon is what, 7,400, 7,200 pieces, somewhere around there. And that particular set sells for, correct me if I'm wrong, $850. So that's why I say it's got to be a lot of small pieces to have 12,000 and be at that price point. So like everybody was saying, I never even really put thought into the fact it might be a mosaic. That would be a complete bummer if it is, because I'm not a collector of the mosaics, I'll put it that way. It's not that there's anything wrong with them, I'm just not that into them. Just a personal opinion. And I did something wrong. Crap. I forgot a row of bricks. Let's see if we can pull this off without totally destroying it. There we go. And I can put this correct row of bricks on. There we go. Now I can put this part back on. Don't you love it when you skip a step on accident? Now we're cooking with Crisco. Hey, Studio Brick City, how you doing? Actually, John, and hey, how are you doing, by the way? People choke when I say it, but I've actually contemplated ripping my entire train station apart and just redesigning a completely new one. And part of that reasoning of thinking that is exactly for that reason, because I want larger landing platforms, but I'm also wanting to best way I can explain it, I'm wanting to incorporate Harry Potter platform 9 3/4 into my train station, and the only way to do that would basically be to, from this point back, rip it off and then expand it out. I can still probably keep the front portion together, but that's kind of where I'm at in my head anyway, is ripping the back half off and re-engineering it. Will I ever do it? I'm not 100% certain, but it is something I am contemplating and thinking about. 12. Trying to count out my pieces again. Actually, that goes here. 8. So, is it a thought? Yes, it's definitely a thought. When did you just now do that, Kyle? I'm sorry. Hope you're okay. Yeah, that would be another way to do it, but I want it to be where if you're on this platform, you can walk straight out. Hey, G Bricks, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for signing in. Again, though, I hope you're okay, Kyle. 3. That's part of my problem with Lego lately. What you just brought up about how you got to keep picking and choosing what you want to buy. Lego has just been releasing so many sets lately. It's because I used to try and buy almost every single set that they would come out with every year. It's not even anywhere near close to possible anymore. And I'm still I don't know. I don't know how they expect people to keep up with the breakneck speed that they've been releasing sets lately. It's pretty much impossible. So I definitely feel you on having to try and pick and choose what you want to buy, because they've gotten crazy. With the release dates and all that of these. And where did I go? 8688. 6, 8. Just trying to show you guys, and I do want to point out again, they're supposed to be sending me the correct colored windows here. These are supposed to be gray also, but they sent red. Yes, this is a huge build, and thank you so much, Eccentric Bricks. What am I looking for? This particular mock, this is actually the first huge mock I ever built, and then it kind of got me on a kick of everything I built was going to be huge from here on out, and it basically has been, at least for the most part. Am I... Did I do that backwards? I think I wanted to do that, but yes, I did. There we go. But this was the building that I actually first did on a large scale. And after I did this building, it kind of got me hooked. And as you have seen with my city, it's like everything I build now. It's either I got to go big or I go home, for lack of a better term. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it, like I said, it all started with this particular building. And I just, for me anyway, it, for whatever reason, building larger just, I'm off. Building larger just works for me. I feel more comfortable building larger because I can add more details. I'm not as worried about restrictions on space. And quite simply, it's kind of like the Lego lighting, because it's like I tell everybody, if I screwed that up. And thank you so much, Kyle. You're donating to me. You need to take care of yourself, buddy. No, the last donation I got, Kyle, was for 5. And I do have that wrote down because it was Pat O'Connor and then Kyle. And I got you down again for 2. And again, thank you so much. And again, I do hope you're feeling better, buddy. I hope you didn't knock the sense out of you too much. But that's one of the things I always tell people. Try not to. Don't get me wrong. It's fun building big. It's I get a lot of joy out of it, a lot more satisfaction out of it. But it's kind of like I said. It's kind of like the lighting. Once you start going big, it's it's really easy to continually want to build that way, because that's the only way you see things, and that's how you want to build them. John Garrett, yes, you did come through the train station. Steve Weiser was saying Brick World uploaded a video of a place he's looking to move his layout to. That would be cool. He's got a really nice layout himself. Anyway, here is the caboose, and again, I want to point out that these are gray. They're supposed to be gray, and they are sending me corrected versions. And this is actually, believe it or not, easy to fix, because this whole thing will pop right off. I'm not going to do it right now, but this whole thing will pop right off, so you can get back to these fairly easily. So I'm not going to be too worried about it. And now we got to slide that mural into the wall. There we go. So now we got our murals in the wall of the train station. Now we can start cooking with gasoline and start putting some of these bricks up here. Oh, there was 2 $5 donations. Oh, I missed that then. You're right, because I only had 1. I apologize for that, Kyle. And you're right, because I just went ahead and looked. She did one 20 minutes ago and then one 10 minutes ago. So again, I apologize for that, Kyle. Kyle Knapp says, once I find the set I want to buy, I go ahead and I get the Lego set, like Star Wars or Spider-Man, whichever is good, or what I buy in Lego. Absolutely, you should always buy what makes you... Why is that not lining up? And... Oh, I screwed something up somewhere. Give me 1 second while I'm checking my... There it is. Okay. I was supposed to have a 3 brick there. I was going to say, something's not lining up right, but I found the mistake. Now we're cooking with Crisco. So it's 1. I messed up the instructions there, but I am going to build it like the instructions say. I know you understand, Kyle. You're good, man. 1, 2, 3. I really don't understand why the instructions are like that, but we're going to keep moving. Why would I do that? Three, okay. But there's a lot of really goofy stuff with the instructions. 3, and then it's 4 all the way back. There, now we got that. And now we can start with that. At least it's moving a little quicker now. I think that's right. And now we can start on the other side. Yeah. No, I wish it was that was true, Mike. Oh God, yeah. Ballasting, although beautiful, it does eat up a ton of parts. And because I ballast also, so I get it. I'm a big fan of ballasting because I think it looks fantastic. But I will be the first to admit and agree with you, Steve, it definitely eats a ton of parts. Way more than I think people realize. Yeah, once you start putting the brick on it, it starts moving pretty fast. And now I need I'm just trying to fly with it. Oh, I know you would, Mike, but definitely understand and know you would. And I do appreciate that. I watched, was it 2 seasons of Loki? I don't know if there's any new ones out. But that is a very cool show. I'm trying to speed build right now. And thank you so much, Kyle. Got that. Now we got to put a 2x3. That'll lock that wall on. And I will beat this together to be a little tighter with the hammer a little later. Awesome, Aaron. 2, 3, no, that's a 2. There. And then the 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2. I needed a 1x2. How do you know you can't sleep if you don't try? Kyle says he's looking forward to doing the roof. That's where I'm going to be kind of concerned, or not concerned, but curious, because I'm curious what holds the roof together. And I don't like how this went together over here. Give me 1 minute to redo it. I'm going to change that up. I don't like how that connected. There we go. Even though the instructions say do it that way, I don't know why the heck the instructions did that, but obviously I need to rework it because that's not how I like to build. There we go. Now if I put this piece down here, then it'll overlap. That is much better. There we go. And I used the parts I was supposed to. Now we're on to the front. No worries at all, Kenneth Swan. Tan for a mock. That would be a good mock. That's a really good color to build with. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I need a whole bunch of gold. And what we're doing here is we're doing the front detail. So every one of these has to get 4 round gold pieces. I love gold in my builds. I think it just classes something up when you use a little bit of gold. When you you say the monorail station, you talking about, whoops, that's the wrong piece. Are you talking about, because I plan on putting a monorail in my city, but it's not something I'm doing anytime quickly. I haven't even made the video on it yet, but I actually just ordered a monorail. But I do have some ideas for a monorail train station, or a monorail station. And I was going to do a very simplistic roof on it. I was actually going to use what I call glass pieces and put them on a slight kick to try and give it like a modern monorail system. Yes, gold. No, you're right, Aaron. That is not a very popular color. It is a color that I like a lot, though. But that's what's nice, is when you find something that's not popular, and if you can use it to build a building with, it saves you a ton of money. Because I always try to use, when I'm building stuff, unpopular parts. Kenneth says he's on his way back from the Oklahoma City pick-a-brick wall. Not a very good selection. And that's because I haven't gone to my Lego store lately, and quite frankly, it's because their selection's always meh at best, usually. And even though it's meh, after I've drove 2 hours to get to it, I usually leave out of there still spending a good $200, just simply because I drove so far, and it's like, you know what, I drove this far, I'm buying something whether I want to or not, even if it's pieces that I think are garbage, and then I just try to use them later. But typically I'm with you, and I find that quite frequently, that the Lego stores here lately, the selection's been very lackluster at best. I don't need any of these pieces. There they are. I am trying to finish this posts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm trying to get my pieces together. And I'll say this, it's getting quicker to find the stuff, but I still have to go and sort or go through everything to get them. But it is nice getting lower and lower on parts because it does make it easier to find stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I need 3, 4, and bricks. Bricks. 2, 3, 4. I know I've seen them 1,000 times and I can't find them. Night Berkeley Bricks, and hey, how you doing? The online Lego store, yes, but the pick-a-brick wall is what most of us are generally talking about. Kenneth Swan was saying that's pretty much what it... what it was, still picked up about 50 parts, a brick store, so it wasn't a total loss. And like I said, I am the same way. Anytime I go, it's like I said, once I go, it's kind of like, well, I'm here, might as well buy some stuff anyway. But a lot of times it's not stuff that I really wanted, but just because I'm already there and I already made the trip, I feel like I got to make it worth it somehow, and I got to try and find something to make it worth it, so to speak. Put 4 of these together. But I find myself quite frequently doing that. Going to the Lego store and leaving with a bunch of parts that I normally would not buy just because the selection sucked. Have I ever used Studio? Yes. But I don't like using any of that software. Just, it's me personally, I find it frustrating to use digital software to build. Actually, probably the most expensive way you can build, because I buy a lot of parts a lot of times just to try an idea that I have. So if you are good at doing Studio, I really recommend it to anybody, because that is the best way to find out if it's the best way to build stuff, and then you already know what the parts are you're going to need. And again, because I don't like to sit on the computer and sit all day and try and finagle with stuff, it's also great if you can put your entire collection on there, because it keeps track of the parts you have too. Yes, the Lego. I don't buy any of those, and thank you so much, Kenneth Swan, putting you down for $1, my friend. Thank you, thank you. I don't really buy any of the Technic sets as far as the cars go. They're just, most of them are kind of, oh, they look weird. It's the best way I can put it. Edward Hen, yes, I can imagine that does look amazing for an airport. I totally agree with you. I even used, I actually have another building design I'm going to be doing. It's just I'm trying to get caught up on other projects before I do anything else goofy. But if you haven't seen it, if you look for it, the Jason Vincent Tower, I made that out of railroad tracks as well. And I mean, I can literally toss that building in the air and catch it. It's so strong. Those railroad tracks are an amazing piece. But if you look through my playlist history, you'll find under my mocks, you'll find the Jason Vincent Tower, and then you'll see that basically it's just a big football shaped building, but I really love that building, and that was also done with railroad tracks. But I try to, anytime I'm trying to think of something unique or different, I always try to get my train tracks out to try and come up with different crazy type designs, because I just love using them. Because basically using the train tracks is kind of like using structural steel. I mean, it really strengthens a building out. I'm totally with you guys. I have monorail systems too. They are absolutely amazing. I haven't even made the video about it yet, but I just actually bought a monorail system, and I got it in the mail a couple days ago. I just haven't made a video about it, but it's an amazing set. The problem with all those monorail system sets, and mine's supposed to be original, I still need to check it. I actually need to check it soon, because it was an eBay purchase, and you know how that goes. But if it's as nice as I think it is, I'm probably going to, like everybody saw, I bought an insane amount of 9-volt powered track. I'll probably end up doing the same thing with the monorail system. I've never owned anything to do with any of the monorails, so this is going to be a totally new experience for me. I don't know where else they would be. Because I don't have many bricks left to hide. I'm looking for 4. There they are. I see them. I was looking in the wrong bins. Let's see, I was looking for 4 of these though. Because these, once you put them together, I place a light on them. Is what that little hole's for right here, is to place the lamp that's out in front. Before I pop those on, let me finish making those side pieces up. Because that'll make that stronger. What I do? I put a black piece in there. It's got to be red. Oh, we're doing good. Now, just to show you what I had built here, goes on that position. Now we take a 2x3. Let me pop that there. 2x10 bricks and tan. I thought you could. You just have to go on Bricklink. Just like I said, I thought they made them in that color anyway. We got that. It's there. I got the window. And that's why I guess I should not have built ahead. Because I am supposed to put, I gotta find the arch now. And I know it's here. Because I have looked over it several times. I also know I need these. Or actually, did I set those aside? I almost felt like they were set aside. Because I know I seen them. There we are. Knew I'd find them somewhere. Better your phone than my internet. Because my internet acts up all the time. There we go. Now I need a 1x1 brick. probably the last 1x1 brick that I'm going to need. There it is. So say, which makes it finding it even harder than usual. That. Got these up. Now I can put all these pieces on. That adds to the greebling. Hey, Fab Blonde Bricks. Trying to make me tongue twist. It keeps pouring more rum out for Joe Boo. That's probably what's doing it then. Because normally, and you know what, I'm not even gonna talk. Because the minute I do, it'll start it. Do. Awesome. Glad to hear you found them, Aaron. And now, this is where I wish I had stickers, but they don't have them. So we gotta do what we can. It is. That is 1x1. I just found another mistake on their behalf. Let me double check the piece. They gave me 1x1 white, but they gave me 1x1 white with, oh, trying to think ahead. So I thought you could see the back of that from the inside. And you can. So that's another, just found my next mistake for the train station. They sent regular brick, and it's supposed to be a snot brick, and I'm not seeing any white snot bricks. So I have to go dig into my Lego stash. And actually, I said second. That's the third mistake. I understand the no patience. And glad you could catch a stream. Fab Blondies Bricks. Tried to say a little slower that time so I didn't tongue twist myself. There. Two. Oh, correction. I am wrong. They did give them to me. I just didn't see them right away. So I can put mine back. See, sometimes it's not their fault, it's my own fault. So let's put those back in my drawer. There we go. Now I need a 1x6 in white. And I know I saw that piece. Holy crap, Dave West, how the heck are you? And just so you know, because I know you haven't been to most of the streams, buddy, that buys you 20 raffle tickets. Because every dollar I get, I consider to be a raffle ticket for this. So you just put in 20 raffle tickets. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Originally it was any donation, and then we changed it to the dollar amount of your donations go towards the raffle. Because we had several people that were just doing $1 over and over and over again, so we changed it to whatever they donate is now what they are donating for. Now, Dave is someone that has been with me for a long time, and I bet you remember me putting this together the first time when I did it out of Lego, Dave. Like I said, with this portion of it, though, I do not have stickers. For anybody that's curious, though, the stickers that I used on this was out of one of the Lego official train sets. It was the train station set, and it was set number 60050. If you're curious about where the stickers that I used on this come from, that's where it came from. I'm sorry to hear that, but obviously you pulled through well. I had, because I know when I had it, it sucked. Quick question, though, I do have to ask, Dave, is because my personal biggest complaint with getting over that was waiting for my taste to come back. That absolutely sucked. And I'm just curious, do you have your taste? Because for me, it went, I want to say it was about 4 months. I figured you probably did remember it. So say, because you have been around my channel, I want to say you got with my channel back when I only had like 500 subscribers, if that. You might have been with me longer than that. I know you've been with me basically since I started. Okay. And then the smell was the other thing that sucked, because it was about the same for the smell and the taste. My daughter still is struggling with it. It's been 2 months, and she's finally got her taste back, but the thing I'm going to tell you, though, Dave, as far as your taste, is this. And you didn't have to retract your message, Brick Sergeant. As far as the taste, this is what I did to get it back, and this is what, because it was my doctor recommended, is buy orange juice. Buy anything extremely sweet, they told me orange juice was the best thing to do, and lemonade. But extremely sweet, extremely sour. It helps jumpstart it is the best way I can put it. I want to say there was more than 200 raffle tickets for you, buddy. I think it's closer to 300 is what you've done. Take care, Studio City Bricks, and I hope you have a good night. And see, even Greg said it. Because I thought you were in the 300-400 range. I could be wrong, but I thought it was that high. There they are. And get on there. Did I? Oh, I didn't put those on. And so say something didn't look right there. That's like I said, for me, orange juice, lemonade. It just, I was told anything super sweet or super tart, it helps kick it back in. And I drank a ton of orange juice, and that helped get it back in. Shoot, Kyle. And did that. That goes there. Where? The reason Brick Sergeant had actually removed his comment, I don't know if you noticed that or not. It's because I try to get people to not talk about that. I don't mind it though, just because I know you were sick with it. My thing is I just don't want people having conversations about it. As far as what I mean by it is it can go political real quick. That's why I'm kind of err on the side of caution. When talking about it. If you win it, you want me to sign a wall? Because I could sign it on one of the sides. I was going to sign it on the base plate. But if you want a wall signed, I can, Kyle. If you win, I'm not going to sign it unless you win. Or unless whoever wins asks for it that way. Yes, I will absolutely do that. Boy, we're making some headway now. Greg Banger, hi, how you doing? Yes, actually I am still live. I'm going to end it here shortly though. Like I said, I was going to sign the base, but I didn't think most people would want to see my name on it. But I'm happy to sign it anywhere anyone should want. I actually thought about that, get a branding logo. I'm not even sure where to get it though. The reason I was wanting to get a branding logo though, I mean, I could use it on this, but my original thought for it was because if I started shipping stuff and whatnot, I figured I could actually brand like boxes and things of that nature is what I was actually looking at it for. I have to say I'm extremely flattered that you guys would want to see my name on it because I feel like it would destroy it myself. So thank you so much. That's very flattering that you want to be able to see my signature. Those 16 by 16 plates there and are can get expensive. Typically, I use the off-brand plates. Just as a suggestion. Is there a specific website you can recommend, Eccentric Bricks? I totally get that. No explanations necessary, my friend. We all get busy in life. And thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate that. Sorting Lego is probably one of the biggest pains you'll ever do. Or most time-consuming things, anyway, you'll ever do. And I'm getting ahead of myself here. I need... There they are. Yes, Mills plates are very easy to do. They're just a little pricey is all. But I don't mind it. The quickest way I can suggest to people for sorting, and I'll be perfectly honest, it's hard for myself to even try and follow it and do it. But is if you put a bunch of parts on the table, just start grabbing them and throwing them into bins, much like the one I'm using right here. Pour your parts on a table and just start just shoveling them right in there. What I mean is take shovel it in by any and every kind of slope. Then start shoveling in the pieces by any and every kind of brick, and so on and so forth. Obviously you want to start with the largest parts first and then work your way down to smaller parts. But you'll find that once you get it down to smaller, easier masses to maintain, that it actually becomes a bit of a quicker process. And it doesn't seem so overwhelming. As far as the minifigs, I'm weird. I've always left mine together, so I don't necessarily personally have that issue. But if you're going to sort them, what I do is, because I do have a lot of mine sorted, and what I do is I sort them quite simply. Trying to look and count. 1, 2. Okay. I try to sort headpiece, head accessory, upper torso, lower torso, torso accessories, and then I also sort the tools. But, I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's got a different method to their madness. That's just what I do. But I also have bins of minifigures that are actually still together. And I sort those by city, Lego, or Star Wars, so on and so forth along that line. Sort them by theme is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I wish. My wife finds it annoying. So that does help, though. If your girlfriend or wife enjoys sorting with you, it's a definite help. It's like a lot of things. I keep meaning to make videos on a lot of different things, and sorting is one of them. I thought I did it a long time ago, but the problem is nobody ever really looks at your old videos. That's why you kind of have to redo them every so often. And I am just bad at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I think if I did do it, I think a lot of people would find a lot of my older videos. And I'll be the first to admit to, a lot of my older videos, let me put that out there, the sound on them's horrible. I stutter. There's a lot of different things that I do differently now in my videos. And a lot of it, quite frankly, was because I was very uncomfortable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, being on camera when I first started out, and I've gotten over the heebie-jeebies of it. So I feel, personally anyway, like my video quality has increased over the last few years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But like a lot of things, that's just a matter of my opinion, not necessarily everybody else's. And yeah, you're absolutely right, Kyle. It definitely would be the only one signed by the designer. Not only is it signed by the designer, it was actually built by the designer. Which that would be a question I would ask people as well, and I don't know how you could ship this thing fully assembled without it busting apart. But I would wonder if whoever wins it anyway, would want it shipped assembled or disassembled. My intention would be to disassemble it, but I guess it would all depend on what the shipping fees were. If it's not too outrageous, I would probably do that. But it also depends on if people think that my stuff's worth anything. That's the only way it would be valuable, is if somebody thought that it would be valuable because the designer signed it. Which I have to say, that would actually be kind of cool to go to Lego shows and have people bringing in your designs to sign. I would be flattered by that anyway. Get on there. We are over the 2-hour mark. That's pretty impressive for me. So that's that. Trying to get all the columns up on the side. And then that way I can start putting all the center designs in there. It would definitely be a huge box. Which, I mean, the box that it comes in disassembled is actually a huge box. It's quite amazing how big of a box it actually came in. Hey Ronald, he says, I agree on the signing. Maybe just put an autograph on the bottom of the base plate. That is what I was going to do, Ronald. But Kyle was saying he wants me to sign one of the walls where it's perfectly visible because he thinks it's more important for it to be visible. And that's what we were just kind of discussing. And it's like I told him, if that's where he would want it, if he won, I would have no problem with it. I would ask whoever won it first if they even wanted it signed, though, before I actually did that. I wouldn't want to sign it and upset somebody. Because I'm sure, I don't know that everybody would want it signed. Thank you, Eccentric Bricks. I appreciate that. Well, I had thought about doing both, actually. Making up graffiti for somebody that didn't want it signed. For, I could have swore I had it here. There it is. That was part of the reason why when I first, because I was actually just going to try and give it away originally, but after putting a little bit of thought into it, and realizing how expensive this thing was going to be to ship, whether it was assembled or disassembled, is why I came up with the idea of, you know what, I can try and raffle it. So that way, hopefully, I get enough money in the raffling to pay for the shipping. Andy says he would want it disassembled so he could, okay. So that was where part of the problem, in my opinion, would be, is depending on where I sign. If I sign it on a base plate, no big deal, because you can still disassemble it. But depending on where the certain person wants it to, no, you're absolutely right, Kyle. The UPS or your USPS doesn't do very good at all. When I ship this, I will, whoever wins it, I don't care who it is, I will ship this UPS, not United States Post Office, because my faith in the United States Post Office has severely dropped, we'll say, after this past year of dealing with them. They very poor, to say the least. I need a ton of these. So now that I'm doing all this, it's making it speed by, because a lot of this is just repetition, and that's what I love about building large buildings. Is a lot of it is repetition, which makes them go very quickly. You mean I could deliver it to you, Steve? A lot of people think, and it's not offense to anybody, I don't ever want anybody coming to my house personally. I think a lot of people, because I wouldn't mind meeting somebody somewhere, but I don't want anybody at my house. That's one thing that'll always remain. And it's not just for me, the wife doesn't want people coming over. But can I meet you somewhere or something like that? Absolutely. I keep meaning to figure out when I would like to go to the Lego store. I haven't had the free time, honestly, because I'm trying to get caught up on all these different projects. Take care, Greg. Hope to see you again soon. Well, it's like my old phrase is, happy wife, happy life. But it ain't even that. I've had so many people that have asked to come over. It's funny, I get people just out of the blue. I just had somebody ask me yesterday, as a matter of fact. I'd never even talked to the person before or anything. They just happened to find my Facebook. And they're all, hey, I'm going on a trip to your city. Can I come by? And it's, no. Well, my hope, because Charm City Bricks is trying to get me to go to Brick Fair, Virginia next year, and he told me that the theme is construction, and I am looking at I really want to do that next year, and I also want to do at least one show in Michigan. I've contemplated trying Chicago, but I know with where you're at, Dave, you are more than close enough to Virginia. So that way I could actually meet you there, and I know it's a couple-day event. And thank you, Eccentric Bricks. I appreciate that. And Fab Blonde says her husband agrees with that as well. Well, you know, part of it is I don't care how much you talk to somebody online or something, because people can seem normal. And this isn't meant to be directed towards anyone, but you can meet somebody in person and they could be a real psychopath. You don't want to invite that to your house. Yeah, we could do that sometime, Steve. Absolutely. So like I said, I would like, because I'd like to meet you, and I know that you go to the Lego store every now and then, so I would love to try and set up a day where we could meet that way. But the point that I was getting at, though, it's just, the world we live in today, it's just everything is, it's not like it used to be, you know? Or at least I don't trust like I used to. I'll put it that way. The nicest way I can say it. I mean, every day it just seems like there's more and more murders, killings, kidnappings, and just stuff that you've never heard of before. And crazy things like women that are selling or trying to buy stuff on Facebook for their baby. And they end up murdering the woman and taking the baby out of her. And I mean, it's instead of girls gone wild, it's people gone wild. I'm glad to hear that, Dave. Like I said, I am going to try and do that, because I know, like I said, Charm City keeps pumping me for it. Him and 2 other people, Blinky Bricks, they're all trying to get me to come down there. So I really think I'm probably going to go ahead and do it. I don't know. I still need to set up more with him is what it boils down to. Because I don't live down there. I'm not familiar with the area, so I need to figure out like what's the closest hotel and all that kind of stuff, so I can kind of prep in advance for it. And thank you, Aaron. We are getting there. Getting there very quickly, actually. When I originally built this building, I want to say it took me, if I remember correctly, it was roughly 2 to 3 months. And most of the time spent on building and designing this was all spent on the entrance. Just this facade right here is what took me the longest amount of time. After I got, well, this and then the 2 murals on the inside. Once I got past that, though, this building actually went pretty quickly. I changed a few things a couple different times along the way, but it was actually a pretty quick build, all things considered. I am trying to scan through to make sure I didn't miss anything. 6s. Oh, if I did a show in Michigan, Fab Blondes, I decided to skip this year, but I was actually getting hot from standing. What I was wanting to do was do Brick Fair, which is in Novi. I'm not sure where in Ohio you are, but that's what I was looking at doing here. And I just decided I was going to wait and do it next year. But there's actually, if I remember correctly, there's 2 different shows here in Michigan. One's on the west side of the state, and then Brick World, I believe is what it's called, is here on the east side of the state. And Brick World is, it's either in 1 or 2 weeks, if I remember correctly. But like I said, I decided to put off this year, and I figured I would try and do it next year. And a lot of the deal with that is it's just quite simply, I just don't have the time this year. I've actually bit off more than I could chew on a lot of different projects. And next year, I can plan ahead for it, where this year I really wasn't planning ahead because I wasn't sure if there was even going to be a show because they kept canceling every show, and that's why it was just kind of like, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'll try it next year. But Cincinnati, so that would put you, I'm trying to think. From Cincinnati, I want to say might be a 4 to 5 hour drive. I want to say, actually, no, it'd be longer than that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Cincinnati is about 6 hours from the Michigan-Ohio border, so that means you would have another additional hour and a half, about an hour and a half drive in Michigan. Bricklock, Illinois says Father's Day weekend in Chicago Brick World. And like I said, I would really like to see. I'm kind of leery about the whole Chicago thing because, you know, it is the murder capital of the world. And I mean, I'm sure it's fine to go there. Don't get me wrong, but that's always been kind of my. Because I've never been to Chicago. I've drove through it, but I've never stopped there. But I don't really even go to Detroit either. I go around the outskirts over it, but I don't go downtown Detroit. There's nothing about downtown Detroit that I like. Aussie Roy, hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for signing in. Grumpy J, are you going to put lights in this train station? No. I still need to talk to Blinky Bricks. He was talking about, and I just popped a part off. He was talking about donating some lights for the winter, so that way I could give them to them, but that's entirely up to him, and I still need to finish that discussion with him. So I'm not sure that lights are going to go with this, but it is a possibility. And hey, Lego Homes, how you doing, my friend? I am actually getting ready to sign off, guys. Kyle Dunbar says, Jay, if I get it, I'm most definitely going to. Bricklock, Illinois says it's up north. Talking about, we're talking about for Chicago. So it's north of Chicago. It's not in the heart of Chicago. So that is a little bit better, I would think. Anyway, though, guys, because I have been streaming for 2.5 hours, I am exhausted, and I normally don't stream that long. One of the biggest reasons is normally people don't watch that long. But on that note, though, I'm going to stop, take a minute, and roll that beautiful bean footage, as I like to do on the end of all my streams. I will be trying to stream twice tomorrow if it's possible. I can't guarantee it, though, because I do have a bunch of other things I'm trying to do, too. But if I can, I will try and do it tomorrow. But I want to give a very quick, very special thank you to all the people that help support the stream, starting with Brick Sargent, Kyle Dunbar, Ned B. Lego City, Paul Bott, T-Bone 98, Grumpy J, Pat O'Connor, Kenneth Swan, and Dave West. Thank you, each and every one of you. I totally appreciate it, guys. You are all awesome, because if it wasn't for people like you, I would not continually push to do what I do. But I do got to get out of here because it is late for me, guys. So as always, thank you for coming to Bevins Bricks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share below. And hopefully we'll see you on Bevins Bricks. And have a blessed day, guys. Take care.